Brooke Logan seemed to lack any space for speech. Brooke criticizes Hope for her liaison with Thomas in the September 18, 2023 episode of The Bold and the Beautiful recap. Ridge also expresses his disapproval of his namesake working with his father repeatedly, and Eric reaffirms his intention to challenge Ridge on the runway. Let's now delve a little more into what actually occurred. Hope, Annika Noyle, and Thomas, Matthew Atkinson, basked in the warmth of their passionate encounters in the catch-all office shared by Katie, Heather Tom, Carter, Lawrence St. Victor, Pears, Diamond White, Zend, Dylan Demetz, and even themselves. Thomas commented that he didn't think the room would ever feel the same again as Hope worried aloud about whether or not she had closed the door, which of course she had. Given that he had waited so long to hold her once more, he then questioned whether this was indeed happening. Thomas gave Hope a kiss in response to her query about if the wait had been worthwhile. Hope returned to her sweetheart and made sure Thomas understood what this meant. And without a doubt, it wasn't love. She might never be prepared for that. She is not yet. Thomas stated that he will clarify. He has no problem serving as Hope's stud. After round 2, the pair changed, unlocked the door, and then somehow found themselves entangled in one another's arms once more. After leaving Ridge, Thorsten K., and RJ, Joshua Hoffman, so they could speak designer to designer, Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang, waltzed into the room and started to freak out. What was her daughter doing exactly? As if Brooke didn't know. After all, she used to work there, in an office with a bed. Where do things stand between her and Thomas better? Brooke assumed that Thomas was solely responsible for this right away, but Hope insisted that she was the one who set the rules and established the boundaries, so she claimed all the credit. Brooke pondered what would happen to Liam, Scott Clifton, and their small family. Hope still missed him and still loved him, and she just knew that, right? Ridge commended RJ for finally joining the Forrester guys who design and even wax poetic about RJ learning the trade under Eric's, John McCook, instruction across the hall. But that doesn't mean he didn't voice his displeasure that RJ was working with Eric and not him. He is also concerned about how his father would be affected by developing this new line. In a testy tone, RJ questioned Ridge's intense desire for Eric to retire, implied that there may have been more going on than Ridge was aware of, and made it quite apparent that Eric wasn't at all prepared to do so, whether Ridge liked it or not. Carter found it offensive that Eric not only intended to reject Ridge's comments on his designs, but also that he intended to square off against Ridge and let the customers determine whose line was superior. Carter tried his hardest to persuade Eric that such overt rivalry may harm Forrester Creations' reputation as a family-run business, but he was unsuccessful. CBS broadcasts The Bold and the Beautiful on weekdays. Check out the most recent entries on B&B Spoilers for more information about what's happening in Los Angeles, and click here for a detailed look at the show's history.